Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar. My name is Chetan Gowda, Marketing Special here at Naventech. So today is the sixth edition of Tech Thursday webinar series. The topic of today's session is on Microsoft Fabric to accelerate your data potential with the AI-powered analytics. And today's speaker is Chinmay Rane. He is a cloud solution specialist at Naventech. So you may ask your questions in the chat box during the session, and Chinmay will be addressing in the Q&A session. And also we'll be turning on your microphone at the Q&A session, so you may ask directly with the speaker. Over to you, Chinmay. Please take it forward.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Chetan. Hi, Dee. So just a quick introduction. So I'm from a solution team at Noventech. Currently leading and doing this practice for those data domain. Okay. Along with me, even I have my data architect Ritesh, and I also have a data engineer with me, Kiran. Okay. And so I will just set the agenda what exactly we look after this proper session, what we are having, from an analytic or understanding of Fabric service or tool, what Microsoft has got on table for us. Uh, so to set an agenda, first we'll look after what exactly Fabric is. Okay. Comparing that with an existing solution, what Microsoft earlier had, those Synapse, Data Factory and everything. Not only that, but also while understanding this Fabric as a solution, we'll also have an example throughout our understanding of those each phases of Fabric, so that it becomes easier for us to understand what exactly the analytic part is. Because I understand that some of you are from an analytical background, or few of those will be from an level one of understanding what exactly ETL is, what exactly the entire journey of ETL is or data analytics is, right? Why it is needed, what importance that plays in our business to have those analytics to be done for it. So to make it easy, we won't be going slide by slide and understanding those pieces of it, but with the slides, we'll have an example set with you so that you guys understand what exactly data analytics is, why it is needed, and also how you correlate that example with your own sets of company business, what you're doing right now, or you understand that in a better way. So that's how I actually drive it out so that it becomes easy for you to understand it. Yeah. And again, that is a part one of your agenda, but also I would like to showcase you a small demo how exactly Fabric look after, how real time analytics, if we do it, how exactly those kind of a demo, but not a full-fledged demo. That will be a very small scale demo what we can showcase to you in a quick manner so that even you have that viewpoint in your head that this is how Fabric actually looks after. This is how I can actually derive within Power BI dashboards or something, and how AI is actually helping me out doing all of those generations from an ETL perspective. Yeah. Give me a second. Just I hope you guys are able to see my screen. Okay. So just to start with, what exactly Fabric is. So let's compare this solution earlier how ETL or analytic used to work, right? So suppose take an example that I am running analytic for a company called as Chroma. Okay, we take it as a Chroma, a subsidiary of Tata, right? Uh, so now Chroma has many more branches, right, across India, right? They are into tier one, tier two cities, and all of those they are spread across India. Now, suppose tomorrow, uh, Chroma HODs or Chroma management wanted to see the overall sales of their all of those branches, okay, region wise, say West region, North region, how those are working, how tier one, tier two cities are doing, you know, they wanted to see a sales figure. Definitely, the HODs or the management has to have a quick glance of some of those pie charts or bar graphs, right? where they actually see that how things will be, things across regions are working, or across cities are working, right? So suppose I say that all of those sales happening in Mumbai, Pune, I wanted to compare that. I need some of those inputs, right? So let's go back to those business of Chroma. So Chroma sells electronics, right? They have wide ranges of home appliance from laptops, TVs, all of those things are there. Even speakers, headphones, and everything, right? At each store of there, right? So even if I say that in Mumbai they have around 200 of stores, right? They might have, cross, they might be have 500, 600 out stores for them, right? Now, if I say that, what if I'm storing each of those databases separately for each store? Will that be an convenient way to look after the sales figures? No, right? Because those data sets are isolated. But what if I say that I centralize those at one place and all of those stores are working from some of the centralized location database? It becomes easy that I look after the same database and then I understand all of those things, right? But database closely work with the applications and it does that job of doing, application inbound and outbound side. But if I wanted to do analysis on the database, definitely I need some of those tools, right? But before doing an analytics, the first piece is to copy that centralized data in some of those storage where I have a second copy of database, and then I look after that database, what exactly going through that database, what exactly how the sales is working in that set of region and everything, right? Now you understand to collect this data of their sales, they might be having SQL, they might be having Oracle, whatever. Okay, so centralized locations, I get all of those data in centralized, I copy those data. To copy those data, I need tools, right? To dump that data, I need storage. And then doing some of those analytics onto it, I need some kind of a tools again. And again, to create a dashboard out of it, I need to visualize tools like Power BI or Tableau kind of thing, right? So now if you understand that just to derive an analytics, I need one tool to copy the data. I need second storage to dump that data. Then thirdly, I need tools to do those transformation. Then I need visualize licensing tools to do that visualizations, right? So just to derive the visualizations, if you see that we need 4 to 5 tools across the board, right? I need to create those complete farm for my analytic, right? And this is what I'm talking from a very initial levels of tools what are required. But once you go into that I need some predictive analysis to be done. I need to have some of the trend analysis to be done. Again, you see that I need some kind of an data science to be added onto it or ML models and added onto it. So you understand that, right? That just for a chroma to derive the sales charts or to derive with a sales report across their all 500 stores of India, right? I need to have all of those tools to be there. What if I told that earlier we used to have a separate tools for each of those specific phases, okay, of ETL. And now, what if I say that you just use Fabric as a solution and whatever the end-to-end tools what you require to do this ETL, I provide that as a stack for you in one umbrella. So that becomes easy, right? So that is how Fabric actually works. All of those tools in our example, taking Chroma, that copying the data from their centralized database, dumping that to your data lake, then again, doing those engineering transformation, running some of those ML models, the data science piece of it, or also the visualize part of it over the Power BI. What if I told you that it's available in one service that is a Fabric. And the good part is Fabric comes with the experience of a SaaS. So this comes you as a SaaS platform for you. So when I say SaaS platform for you, earlier, now you see how overhead goes away. Okay. Earlier you were managing 5 to 6 tools, right? again, you used to manage the costing for them, you used to manage the overheads of maintaining those tools, monitoring those tools. Again, whatever data lake you choose, managing those storage and everything. But now, this everything comes in a one Fabric solution, and this comes as a SaaS platform. So once it is a SaaS, looking after the batches, I don't care about that. Looking at the back end of it, how those things are working, how licensing costs working, that goes away, right? How SaaS work for me? Take an example of OneDrive, right? I just pay for my space and I start using it. I don't look after it backup. I don't look after what exactly operating system is running with. I don't look after the hardware, what exactly in the backend it's running. I just use it as a SaaS platform, right? So this exactly come as a SaaS solution for you. I don't look after the backend, what exactly it's running out, but I just look after what service I wanted to read after or look after, right? Or I wanted to use for my analytical perspective. So starting with the data factory are the one which are involved in ingesting of this data or copying of those data from various source. So in our example, we took as a Chroma, right, as an example. But as I said, one centralized data in our example, but if you see from an organization perspective, even the Chroma won't be having one database, right? It might have their customer data residing in MySQL. They might have their order request residing at their Oracle. Now, even Chroma has their online business, they have store business. So bifurcations of both of those will have two separate databases, that can be SQL, Oracle, all of those, multiple data sources, right? Even they might be using some of those SaaS platforms. They might be using some of those available products from third party, right? For their complete farm of having business running, right? So now just to derive a business insight, I need all of those databases first getting dumped in my one lake, right? And this is where my data factory actually comes in a place where my integrations with all of those data source becomes an easy because this data factory has many of those connectors available over there, right? So my ingestions of data, the pipeline creations becomes easy using this data factory integrations, right? This can be a real time also. Even I need some of this pipeline which has to be run 15 minutes time or 30 minutes of timeline, right? I can set those schedules and everything. So these are the pipelines which actually brings your data for analytics, and that dumps that to your data lakes, or in our fabric case, we call it as a one lake, right? Once that has been dumped into our one lake, right? Now we come across that. See, I got all of those data, but is that something my insights gonna derive from all of those data? No, right? I need to bifurcate. I need to have data sets created accordingly, my business insights, right? So that is where the place comes is the data engineering or data warehousing, where I actually do those kind of a transformations, where I actually do create, how those creation of data sets should be, right? So the transformation layer has to be done. Then I said about that, what if I wanted to do some of those understanding, model running, right? Tomorrow, suppose management team of Chroma wanted to know that uh, what set of cell phones are selling across tier 1 and tier 2. So if you see that cities like Mumbai, Pune might see that iPhone getting more sold than that Samsung, Vivo, or Oppo, right? But then they see that the tier 2 cities or another cities or at the village places, that they see that Oppo, Vivo has a more sales, right? So this becomes a trend analysis. What exactly trend goes away? To do a trend analysis, definitely I need some of those models to be trained onto my data sets, right? According to my historical data sets, I need to create such models onto it. So data science piece, also I don't need to go any another products or another third party tools. I do have integrations of a data science as well in this. So if you see that from an ETL, and also not that, but if I wanted to create some trend analysis, predictive analysis I have to do, I can actually create models and I can run my models onto my this data set, right? I hope you guys are getting it, with an example what we are having of in Chroma, right? So tomorrow, if Chroma HODs wanted to see trend analysis, I do have those data from all of those data source in my one leg, in my analytical journey. I have already transformed and cleaned those data using some data engineering tool, Synapse. And now on that clean data, I run my modules of trend analysis, predictive analysis. And then I derived with some of those charts in my Power BI. Okay, now my trend analysis shows me that this cell phones, like Mumbai, Pune, Delhi has more iPhone users. So I get an idea that my inventory standpoint, I can have my iPhone inventory more in this regions, whereas I see that Kerala or another regions where people are using Samsung more. So I understand due to my historic data and due to what predictive analysis I've done that this is what exactly things are working, right? I can actually have my Samsung mobiles more inventory residing at the south region, whereas west and north regions are more from an iPhone user. Just I'm giving an example. So this can be set and accordingly, Chroma decides upon the inventory. So now if you see that my business, this becomes one of a business intelligence, right? Where I am able to judge my that the next launch of an iPhone, it's better to have more inventory in my west region and north region and 20% or 30% lesser in the south region where my Samsung plays a major role. So such this is just a very small example I'm giving to have a better understanding, but this actually works at the higher level, right? So not in that, but also we can do a real-time analytics. So when I say a real-time analytics, that means whenever I have some of those database, I connect those database with some of those connectors, which real-timely send those data to my analytical journey, and basis on those, I have my dashboard built. So I will be showing you one of those demo too, as I said in our agenda that will be a something real time near. Okay, 1 to 3 minutes, you might see those delay, but even you can create the real-time analytics onto this. Okay, again we have another tools like data activator. Okay, so data activators again is like trend analysis where you see that something is getting spiked, you can alert someone. You can actually put notification across the relevant team. Okay, as I said, that suppose tomorrow in south region you automatically see that people are moving from Samsung to iPhone, and in north region it's happening vice versa, that people are moving from iPhone to an Samsung. So this is something unusual thing happening, right? So data activator actually helps you out to see such trend which is going unusual, and then you trigger those pointers that this is something changes happening, that south region is more from an iPhone perspective. We see more bookings at the iPhone level, and then I triggered those to my inventory managers to have their stock filled up with an iPhone phones, right? So sticking to our example, this becomes easy for you to understand how the data activator work from a trend analysis. So that this is how it is. And the good part is the overall foundation of all of those phases of ETLs actually work over a one leg. So this one leg is an isolated storage from all of those queues. Okay, so when I say isolated, that means all of those the services, data integration, data engineering, all of it doesn't care about what level of data I'm pushing into my one leg, right? They will their own job. This one leg in isolated with all of those services, it will do the job of storing the data. But don't just see this as a storage, it's a smart storage. Okay. Even you have many, we'll see in another slides, what are the features, what we get it from one leg and everything. But understand that this becomes a one-stop solution for you to have all of those end-to-end analytical tools which has been bring together under the Microsoft Fabric. I hope you guys are able to understand with an example what exactly trying to say. Okay. And as I said, Microsoft has given this as a SaaS product for you. The data in rest will be always encrypted, and the security hand in hand goes away. Okay. Yeah. So Any question? I guess some we have some of have questions over there. Screen. Okay. Am I not audible for you guys?
You are audible, Chinmay.
Okay. I guess someone has posted. Okay. I guess that was something from user and cool. Fine. So yeah, where exactly we were? Yeah. So this comes as a SaaS product for you. So the security hand in hand comes it. I don't look after the SLA, what is happening, how my uptime will be. Once I put my data into it, once I've started using my data warehouse data engineering, everything from an SLA perspective and everything goes away. I don't look after those overheads now, right? Uh, uh, Again, from a data governance point also, we now also have data purview as a service where you can actually do those policy setting and all of those things, which actually covers under the security piece of it or governance piece of it. So all of those things are there. Now, this is a component level where I say that what exactly components it's in each phases of it. If you see the Power BI have those data sets, it has those reports, what we create, the visuals reports, it has those workspaces. Even if it is something data science, as I said, experiments, the models, I can run those models on my data. My data factory has those connectors, my data pipeline, my data flows. So in an example, copying those data from all of those databases, dumping those data, doing those transformations, creating those visuals, are all of those components where my fabric will help you out from each and every service standpoint. I hope you got it. So, what exactly Prefabric actually looks after? Okay, so earlier we had to have a Power BI licenses separately. Again, then we need to have services to data factory as a service, and we need to have a Synapse as a service. Then we need to have data lakes as a storage. Okay, even those were the platform as a service, but again, the configuration piece of it, looking after the logs and everything still remain to us, right? So managing those was still an overhead, and integrating those were the other another overheads. But now, due to it's under a one umbrella, it becomes so much easy that all of those are connected with each other, and integration becomes an easy for us to be happen, right? So this is our uh, fabric experience actually brings for you, right? And then comes the age of AI. Okay, so just to tell you that whatever tools I said right now, the Synapse, the factory, the data factory, the Power BI, you have heard that, and these were earlier also running, right? So what's the difference? See, even this, all of those tools are nothing new. They were running earlier too, but now they have been clubbed together and they have been arranged in such a way that it becomes easier for you as a SaaS product comes for you on a table, that it becomes easy for you to integrate within all of those phases. Okay. But not only collocating or getting all of those, aggregating all of those tools what earlier we used to use for analytics, but also adding new age of AI into it. Uh, how this exactly work is, suppose for even in the Power BI, if I wanted to develop some of those dashboards, right, I can actually chat in a natural language stating that I need a sales report. You dump your sales data, whatever the Excel sheet it is, whatever the data source coming at Excel sheet or whatever it is. You dump that data in your OneLake. You ask the Copilot to summarize those data and to create some of those dashboards from that. I can type that in a natural language that's please compare my sales in Mumbai, compare that with the Pune and Delhi, and it can actually create within a 5 minutes, it can create a dashboard for you. Okay. Not only the Power BI, but tomorrow in data engineering also, you're not sure about what exactly the code you have to be written to correlate within two of those tables. You can actually write that to your Copilot, help me out with the code. How I can correlate between two of those tables, what I have in my one lake. that can actually go ahead and it can help you out with the code to correlate between two of those tables in your one. So not only from a Power BI perspective, but from an overall journey of your ETL, the co-pilots be there with you to help you out. See, again, this is just a co-pilot. The pilot is still you. So co-pilot will always help you out to understand or help you out to code it or something. But again, validation has to be done from your end before pasting it. Okay. So that's the new age of AI where I have my co-pilot to help me out throughout the journey of the analytic, where I tell my Power BI visualizations and creations of that, right? As I said earlier, that the One Lake doesn't just have storage capabilities, but it also have much more capabilities. Just for an highlighting one, that suppose I have GCP in my environment. If I have a Google Cloud platform, I have my AWS platform, right? And I have some of those data resetting over there. No need to copy those data over here. I can actually create shortcuts in my One Lake, and that shortcut actually can be used to for analytical journey, right? So this is how what I exactly wanted to highlight from an One Lake perspective. There are many more features, but I don't want to go too deep into it. Just for an update for all of you is from now onwards, whatever the premium capacity, the P1, P2, P3, P4 will be no longer available for purchase. Everything has to be migrated to Fabric SKU. So even if you see this table that, give me a second. Yeah. If you see here, the P1, P2, P3, P4, this column, and their equivalent SKUs of Fabric, which is F64, F128, F256, F512, and that goes to F1024, right? So that's how it is that no longer this premium capacities will be available. What you have to go ahead with, those are the Fabric capacities that we'll need to go ahead with. And even if you see the costing part, that actually remains same, right? So this column is the premium capacity cost, and this is the Fabric cost. So if you see, it is just hardly $1 difference across all of those SKUs of Fabric and premium capacities. So that's how advantage it is now. That earlier in my premium SKU, I was not able to run my complete ETL, but now I will be running my complete ETL onto the same cost what I'm paying for Fabric right now, right? So earlier, if I was paying around 4 lakh for P1, right? And still I'm paying 4 lakhs for Fabric SKU, but now I not only run my dashboards onto it, but I also run my along with the workspaces, I also run my ETL onto my Fabric workspace, right? Just to highlight part of it, that the Copilot now here is available from F64 SKU, and above that, the F32 won't be having your Copilot features over there, right? And many much features, right? Tomorrow, if I wanted to resize from P1 to P2, I need to procure P2, then I need to move my workspaces onto it, right? But here, a resizing can be done within a 5 minutes. I can have my resizing done from F32 to F64. So that's how it is built right now on Portal. So again, as I said, this overall things were work over a capacity performance, right? So I wanted to see my capacity performance. I need to monitor those, right? So even we don't need some separate monitoring tools. This Fabric actually has its own monitoring tool as well, right? I can have my CU monitored. I can see, which of those phase of my analytical journey is using my CU more, right? So that's how from an monitoring perspective also, I don't need those separate tools. So see, I just wanted to the aim was right now to help you out to understand what exactly Fabric is from an component level, from an architectural level, and from an understanding piece of it. How that's what I took an example of Chroma, where it becomes easy for you to an understanding why it is needed, why analytic is needed on your data, right? Uh, any question across it, else we'll also see one of the demo for real time. Uh, Kiran Patil, I have my data engineer, he will showcase that. But before moving to a demo, anyone you have any queries, you can just paste that in chat window. Uh, that will help. Or else, once the demo is done, we'll have a 5-minute session where we talk about whatever the queries you guys have, right? I will just head this to Kiran so that he can showcase you the demo piece of it.
Chinmay, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Abhijit. So, as you like are going to give a demo, so I think you would have like just experienced different SKUs of the fabric, like below F64. So I know that the Copilot thing is not available below F64, but are there any other things which are like very important, which you see will are not available below F64, like from a security perspective, or like if you want to set up some kind of endpoints, those things. Like in general, I'm asking if you have any kind of your observation, like if you have,
No.
if you want to purchase like say F16 for example, because the cost is too high if I go for F64 or even F32.
True.
So
True.
your feedback I wanted to get on that.
No, as such, you don't see, something is working on. The only piece is, see, uh, uh, if F64, if you wanted to evaluate do I need an F64, is that the user count, okay? Because at F16, you need pro licenses to view those Power BI dashboards. But
Correct.
from F64 onwards, I don't need those licenses to view, because that becomes the equivalent to my premium capacity, right? So that's the difference what I see. But doing right now all of those projects and everything, I haven't seen as such difference what we are running in F64 and F16. We have been running all of those warehouses, data factories, and everything.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. We'll move to demo, and then again we have 5 minutes, or so we can discuss the further onto it. Yeah, Kiran. So yeah. So we start from a visualization, the Power BI visual, what we have created. Okay. So this is like a real near time data sync what we have created in this dashboard, where it exactly shows you count of sales, what is happening, Okay, in this also it's like something called as an uh, electronic company, where we see how much phones and all of those is happening, sales is happening across my board. So what we'll do, we'll show you what exactly those pipelines, how we build it. So the data source for this is an SQL, okay, and we have created a real time. When I say a real time, that means any entry, new entry coming in my SQL, okay, automatically my dashboards get. So suppose I have a new order coming for an iPhone, okay, in some of my store, automatically my dashboard will also get an update of it, okay. So that means if I've given this dashboard to my some of my HODs and they wanted to see a real time how sales is happening, that will be useful for them for such dashboard. So we'll just show you one of those entry adding right away in MySQL, querying that. Definitely, we don't have a UI application created. We'll directly do that into a management studio. We add a query into it, and then we show that how it is visible in your Power BI as an entity. So, Kiran, can you just add one of entry SQL?
Thank you. Thank you, Chinmay. So let's see. These are the dashboard that we are creating near real time, and our source is SQL Server. So here I just insert one row. I'm running the pipeline that we made using Microsoft Fabric. So I quickly look into the pipeline first, whatever the pipelines that we made using Microsoft Fabric for doing this ingestion from real SQL Server to Power BI. So let me first show you the Fabric interface. What's it's look like? It's just like a Power BI, and if you see here you got an option like workspaces and all everything. So inside the workspace, I have created one workspace that is my demo purpose, and inside that workspace I created one lakehouse. So this is my lakehouse, and it's all linked with the one lake. In Fabric, we have a one storage only. Even you are creating the lakehouse or even you are creating the warehouse, both are stored into the one lake, and the data is again single copy. So that's why the Fabric have a one lake capability. So this is my table that's I load into the warehouse, and this is the actual table that is available into the SQL Server, that is sales demo table. So that is completely full load using one single pipeline in Microsoft Fabric. This is my full load data pipeline. This is just I haven't created anything extra here. I just use the data factory just like that, and I use copy activity in the source. I just configure the SQL Server connection that is available in on-prem SQL Server. So for these connections, I have just installed the on-prem data gateway on my system, and that will be connected successfully with my SQL Server. And in the source, I configured SQL Server as a source, and inside the here I'll just use the table, whatever the tables that I have to copy from my SQL Server to the Fabric. So this is the selected tables I have into the source, and in destination I just configured. I made one table name as a stream data into the real-time data lakehouse. So these are the my real-time data lakehouse, and this is the table present here. A minute. And this is the table that I have copied as a name as stream data. And in the Fabric, one more thing, you have a one if you created the lakehouse, you will have to use SQL endpoint as well as the table lakehouse structure. So this will be made. Now coming into the second pipeline, this is the full load pipeline. If I'm getting the count of my previous records available into this table, these are the 10,134 records that I copied using this pipeline in single job. Hope you guys are understood. So next is second pipeline that I made for the incremental load. When I entered some records inside the database into, that will automatically copied, and using this incremental pipeline, that will be reflected into the this real-time stream table that I shown previously. So this is my second pipeline. that is working as an incremental load. Here I just give two lookup. My first lookup is for the update purpose, and my first lookup is for getting the select the max order date from this table. So the logic is only I get the max of order date from this table and check with the uh, that particular column, and whatever the entry from this max of order date greater than max of this order date, that will be completely copied using this pipeline. Inside the copy data activity, I'll take that real-time data as a source, same, and in destination we have that storage account. I have to copy this data into the storage account, and my logic is I have to made one file for the every time. Like I have run this pipeline within the 5 minute of schedule period. Then within the 5 minutes, whatever the entries coming into the my database, new entry, that will be loaded into the file, and that will be stored into the storage account. So I'll also show you the storage account.
So just this logic behind is
So
that
yeah,
uh,
this pipeline is for the incremental purpose, and this will copy new entries, and this stored procedure will update the max next max. So this is just the second pipeline logic, and my third pipeline will be this. This is my third pipeline that will get the data from my second pipeline, and using get metadata activity that will update the record and copy into the this storage account that I show you. Just give me a minute. So here I just created this real-time directory folder. Here the file is coming when I run this pipeline, second pipeline, and after running the third pipeline, it will be getting the backup from this real-time directory into the backup folder and delete these files, whatever the coming files. That means whatever the overload happening inside this folder, that will be automatically covered, and our pipeline will be continuously running. So that way we can achieve this near real-time scenario using Microsoft Fabric. So I'll just quickly insert one record and showcase to you how this entry will be reflected into your dashboard. I'll just made one entry here. So one row of is there. Now I am just running this pipeline.
2 minutes and yeah.
Yes, our pipeline is success. Now we'll check into this folder. Yeah, this file is generated from this pipeline, and I'll also show you the file. That one entry I have made. Hmm, maybe that's entry is not fetched, I think so, but the file is made. Now I run the second pipeline. The data is not there. Sorry guys, maybe data is not coming, so we have to rerun this pipeline and let's see. Insert केलं बेटा असं.
Kiran, it's fine, you know. I guess that will take time to some error. But what we'll do, we even have, let me just share my screen. Uh, for any of you wanted to see, you know, the demo, we can actually present you guys that individually, and we even have our feedback form right now. Okay, if you wanted to see some of those demo for your organizations, in that feedback form, we have actually given us a column where you can actually put, you know, we need those demo, yes, and then we can actually have connect one to one with you, and then we discuss and we showcase our demos to you over there. So just I need, you know, you guys take time and if you can just scan this and fill this form. It just had three odd columns. You can fill that and that will help us out. Yeah. So till that time, what I can do is you can turn on your mic and you can ask your queries, whatever you have. We will love to, you know, answer those.
So
Chinmay,
Chinmay,
there is
as
a
you
yeah, please continue.
yeah, so Chinmay, as you said, this is a real time, like it will get reflected on the report. So is it in a direct link mode?
Any queries,
That's
guys,
why.
even you can put that into the chat window from one link. Oh, sorry, my speaker was turned off. Can you come again?
Yeah, I was saying that is this the real time data which is getting reflected on the report? Is this
Hmm.
in the direct link mode? The report?
No, this is not. So this is exactly not a real time. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
this was near real time, but it actually take 5-6 minutes odd, and then it showed. If it is something real time, we need those event stream data or CDC connectors to be enabled at the database levels, and then we can actually can have those
Okay.
real-time
Okay.
data, right? So whatever the
Yeah.
changes happening at the database, I need to capture those, right? So those CDC connectors from SQL and everything has to be configured, and then I can have those real-time dashboards created.
Okay. And one last question is like the report what you have designed. So
Hmm.
is this you have deployed as an XML endpoint, and for that if you have used like that like tabular editor to create that model, or directly you have connected the report with the warehouse or the one lake or the lake house you have created, and then you have designed that over Power BI desktop.
On the basis of table.
So
In
that
one
resides in
lake.
one lake only. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Chinmay, we also have one more question in the chat box.
Oh, is it?
Vipin
Okay.
is asking, is Fabric suite that is including Power BI, or is it a grand version of Power BI with more features and options?
Fabric suite that is including Power BI or its current version of Power BI. See, it's like what exactly need is. If you guys exactly need a complete detail for you, then Fabric actually goes with you. If you just have one of the small dashboard created and you have audience out sitting like 20 to 50 users, you can actually work with only Power BI thing where you have 50 pro user license and then you can work accordingly, right? But when it is something 300 or 350 odd users who gonna consume this Power BI dashboards, right? Then definitely it makes sense to go with the capacity license of Fabric, where I don't need those 300 pro licenses. I can directly buy my Fabric F64 and all of those users can run. And using the Fabric SKU, all of those ETL, all of those services what we talked about can be run onto it. So it always depend upon the use case what you have. Is it something for smaller users? Then I would have suggested you directly go ahead with the Power BI and you use the pro licenses. But if it's something to the large audience, as always you need the capacity license like Fabric capacities, right? So that's like again, you know, use case to use case depends. Anyone else you have question? I request, if you can just click on this form or scan this form and fill that, that will help. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we don't have any more questions.
Cool,
Thanks,
that's I guess.
Chinmay and
Yeah.
Kiran. Thanks for the
Thank you.
wonderful session today.
Thanks,
Indeed, it
Singh.
was very
Thanks, everyone.
insightful, and thank you one and all for joining. So we'll be sharing the record of this webinar on email and the next webinar details shortly. Please do tune in. So don't forget to join us, guys. Thank you all. Have a nice evening.